Hey, it's James, Fathers Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. I want to show you a couple of text messages I got recently with testimonials of a dad who talked to me before a court hearing, and he had an attorney, and he was paranoid that the mother was going to take his kids away or get custody at an emergency hearing because she had the guardian ad litem on her side, CPS was concerned, and somebody else, I forget. And we had a couple consults, and it's a guy I've worked with for a while, and he got custody earlier this year, working with me off and on for several months. And in his text message, he said, my attorney said everything that we talked about. And because of you, basically, I won. Her modification got kicked out of court right there. Even though he was up against the mother and the guardian ad litem and possibly CPS. You know, I told him he ran his mouth too much. CPS wanted to investigate. The cops wanted to talk to him. They wanted to come over for welfare check. All stuff you don't have to do. So we had to put together and talk about stuff and get him an argument for court. He said, my attorney said what you were talking about, James. So I don't understand why you guys aren't getting help or a consultation. There's attorneys who go to court. I have attorneys who buy stuff out of my store. If attorneys are buying my packets out of my store, you people who are out there who are totally lost, why wouldn't you consider getting stuff? You know, I had a guy I talked to the other day. I'm going to show you the testimonial text in a second. I had a guy I talked to the other day, and he said he's trusting this attorney, and he's listening to this paralegal, and I mentioned this in another video. And then he's listening to, he said, everybody says I should just give up. Everybody says I should do this and that. And the guy had talked to me a year ago, and then he didn't talk to me again for months, and he's royally getting screwed, and there's a million things he could have been doing on his case. But he didn't want to talk to me. The one guy he knew that really knew what he was talking, he knows that I really know what I'm talking about, but he doesn't talk to me. This is the root of the problem. It's not you don't have information out there that will help you. It's not that you can't learn how to do this. It's not that you're unable to do this. You just don't want to. You want somebody else to do it for you. That is the root of the problem, because I got all kinds of testimonials by people who actually grew some balls and decided, I'm going to go to court and fight for my kids instead of laying back and wishing somebody else to do it for me, because nobody's coming. Nobody's coming to rescue or save you. You are the father of your children. The mother is trying to and sometimes there's some cases where there's a narcissistic father and this other way around, but for the most part, you are the father of your children. You're the protector. God made you the protector of your family. And there's a Jezebel hoe of a greedy whore manipulator who wants to get money for the kids or control of the kids, a psychotic, manipulative Jezebel witch who wants control of the kids for no good reason and will harm them by depriving them of a father. Who do you think in the world gives a shit about your case? Nobody. Not even your own attorney. That's why you have to use the system and manipulate the system and use your attorney as a tool and a mouthpiece to help get what you want to get. This is your case. It's your life with your kids. Nobody in the world gives a shit. I mean, I care and I want to help you and empower you, but you still have to do what you need to do. Just like somebody who's a drug counselor can help somebody as much as they want, but if they never ever choose to try and get off drugs, it'll never happen. Or somebody who's fat, who never wants to go to the gym or exercise or get outside and change their diet. Or somebody who has cancer and they need to stop eating sugar and carbs and feeding the cancer and they won't do it. And somebody who overcame that is telling them what worked for them and they won't do it. Not everybody wants to be saved. Not everybody wants to rescue their kids because it takes a little bit of work. And if you don't want to do that, then shut the F up and stop crying and go huddle in a ball in a corner and don't do anything. But if you really want to fight for your kids, what the hell are you doing just watching my videos and not taking any action? It only hurts you. And people get mad that I'm chewing people out and I'm saying stuff to wake you the hell up. Because there's a cliff over here. It's like, when you see a sign that says do not take exit because they're constructing the exit. And if you drive off the exit, you will fall 100 feet because the off-ramp hasn't been finished. I'm there with the sign saying, don't go this way. This is the loser route. This is the death of you and your kids. Don't go this route. Don't take this turn because you'll fall off a cliff and die. And the cliff is, and that turn is using the attorney, trusting the system, going through this. I've seen 25,000 cases since I won in 2001. It's October 2024 right now. October 2nd or 3rd right now. I've won over and over. My clients have won over and over in district court, superior court, the court of appeals, revisions, reconsiderations. I have hundreds of guys who got full custody without an attorney. You can't find anybody in the world that has a track record of working with hundreds of guys, 300 last time I counted, and help them get full custody. And most of them did it without an attorney. You can't find any. Even Judge Anthony, he has testimonies, and he gets up and he shakes his booty and booty claps like a little, like a rap video honey, and tries to act all down. But I don't see him giving testimonials any more often than what I got right here. And that's great that he's doing a good work. But at $750 an hour, and you guys complain that I charge $80 an hour at this point in time, you got to be kidding me. You have no excuse to not fight for your kids other than you're a chicken, a coward, and you want to sit in your comfort zone. And what they're doing is wrong and they're violating you. So if somebody breaks into your home to violate you and steal stuff, you'll say, hey, you're violating me. You shouldn't do this. Or you're going to stand up and fight and risk your life to protect your family, your home, or whatever. We have the right mentality about life and this stuff and being a man in every other area of life. But when it comes to family court, we turn into punk sissy pussies. And we throw all common sense out the window. You just had your kids last weekend for the whole weekend, and the mother says, you know what, you only get them for 4 hours, and you obey like a good little slave. And, you worship your Lord and Savior, the mother, your baby mama. Because why? Because you don't want any conflict. You don't want any drama. It hurts your sissy little precious heart if you have to stand up to her. If you keep the kids longer, she might not let you have the kids. Then take the kids and don't give the kids back, dummy. I mean, you can't be that stupid that you'll say, if I act like the father of these kids, she will punish me and never let me see them again. And then are you going to go to court and do something about it? A lot of guys don't think about going to court until after they haven't seen their kids for months. See, none of this stuff, if somebody stole your car, you wouldn't say, well, that's really wrong of them, but maybe they'll come back and give it back to me and they'll come around. Come on, people. We don't think like this anywhere else in life except in family court. Why? Because we're a bunch of punk little simps. We are given foods that deprive us of cholesterol, which makes testosterone. I just found this out today. And we are literally a bunch of soy boys. So there's a biological reason for it. But also, a lot of us grew up without dads, or dad was there but not there, didn't teach you how to be a real man, and society's getting softer and softer and less catered. And while society's getting softer, women are getting more vicious, and they're like, oh, we could take over all these soft punks. You don't have a culture in the history of the world except the modern West, which was starting to grow in the late 1800s in Europe, where women dominate and take control. You have incidents of women seducing a man, taking over a kingdom, playing a spy. The lady that danced and got, for the, whatever his name was, who danced and got John the Baptist's head cut off. You have world leaders who sent somebody, a woman spy. You even have the James Bond movies where you see a woman is sent to seduce somebody. It's an age-old trick to seduce somebody, and women have power over men or have had power over men. Samson got schooled or played by a woman. And so Joseph got lied and jailed because a woman said he raped me when he fled her and she was scorned. Hell has no fury like a woman scorned. I learned all this stuff the hard way. So let me get to the text and testimonials. So here's a guy named Jeremiah on the East Coast. I'm not going to put a last name in here. I'm not going to give a state because I protect, people's identities. My attorney argued verbatim what you said in its opening argument, and judge dismissed the case. The mom was trying to take custody away from the dad who had custody, and she was falsely accusing him. The guardian litem argued with the judge and stated she wanted to do an investigation. So the guardian litem was on the mom's side and has a stance if she's going to file her own petition possibly when she comes back. So the guardian litem is threatening. And after the guardian litem takes leave, then she'll come back and threaten that the children are in danger, which proves that they're full of crap. So when you call people out, they show how stupid they are, but you're not even calling them out. So you don't win the argument because you don't shine a light on the cockroaches and make them come out. Here's a guy fighting his stepdad, and he won and got his stepdad off the case. So now he's dealing with the mother, and he finally has a victory. You can pause if you read it. Here's some testimonial. So what are you waiting for to get help from me?